Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the regular monthly meeting of the Board of Commissioners held for the purpose of transacting general business of the township. Today's date is December 13th, 2023. The meeting is being held in the Springfield Township building. It's also being offered in a live streaming feature. The meeting will also be made available on the township's website beginning tomorrow morning. Comments will not be accepted remotely during the meeting, but instructions for submitting public comment in advance of tonight's meeting were provided as part of the posted agenda. Mr. Taylor, if you could summarize any public comment received prior to this evening.
Sure. We had one public comment received remotely. It was related to Cisco Park and a request to consider measures that could be taken to deter daylight vehicle break-ins. We had a series of 4 break-ins since October, and the police department continued to investigate. We have a pretty good line on the suspect, but investigation is continuing.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. This time, please stand and join the Board of Commissioners in a moment of silent reflection on the servicemen and women who place themselves in harm's way in order to help preserve our safety at home and overseas. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. This time, I would entertain a motion dispensing with the reading of the minutes of the previous meeting as written and recorded in the official minute book of the township.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Please record a unanimous vote. We have a full complement this evening of our commissioners and our professionals. I would like to announce that the Board of Commissioners conducted an executive session as part of their December 11th, 2023 workshop meeting to discuss 3 personnel matters and 1 real estate matter. Regarding the 2024 budget, at the conclusion of this evening's business meeting, the Board of Commissioners will conduct a budget hearing on the 2024 township budget. The board will also conduct a special meeting to close out the business of 2023 and to adopt the 2024 budget. Any questions or comments related to the 2024 budget should be held until the public hearings are conducted. And at this time, I would like to ask our Chief, Michael Picco, and to join Lee Benson, the Chief of Police of West Whiteland Township and Chairman of the Pennsylvania Law Enforcement Accreditation Commission, the front of the room for the presentation of a certificate of law enforcement accreditation to the Springfield Township Police Department. Yes, please.
I know you have a full agenda. I won't take up too much of your time, but first of all, I just wanted to thank you for having me here tonight to be able to present this beautiful plaque to not only to the Township Police Department, but to the township overall. Because the chief here who took it upon himself to, make that step to become an accredited agency, that's a big commitment. It's a voluntary commitment. It's not a mandatory program. So for chiefs like Chief Picco to take the initiative to do that keeps kind of like the PLEAC Commission in business. So we operate under the oversight of the Pennsylvania Chiefs of Police Association, where they set standards that police departments meet and then have to prove that they are in fact following those standards through policy, through forms, through their everyday operations. With the new police department that you've built here, which is a beautiful agency that you have, that also helps quite a bit because a number of the standards that we look at as assessors goes to the the cell block and the evidence room and things of that nature in order to provide a safe environment for the police department and for those that they deal with, to be in a safe environment here at your township building. So a huge step for Springfield Township Police Department and Springfield Township. There's a number of your neighbors, Upper Dublin, Whitpain, Cheltenham, Philadelphia, I could go on. This was sort of the last piece of the puzzle, for a fully accredited area here in Montgomery County. Again, I was here in Montgomery County in Upper Dublin, another accredited agency. So to see Springfield get this great honor, it's heartwarming, warming for me as well. So without further ado, one thing I wanted to do is I have the full report, which more than likely you have read already, but for the benefit of the people that are here, I just wanted to read the conclusion, if I may, because I think it goes to the professionalism of this police department. So this was written by the team lead of the assessors who came here back in September. And this was read to the full board, the full PLEAC commission in October. So I just wanted to just finalize with this, if I could. The department members demonstrated that the department is well-disciplined, well-trained, and well-organized and well-directed. This was repeatedly confirmed by our observations and interactions with department personnel who have embraced the accreditation process and have implemented the Pennsylvania Law Enforcement Accreditation Commission's standards as best practices for this agency. It is apparent the Springfield Township Police Department has been and continues to be dedicated to delivering quality police services to the community that they serve. So I think that pretty much sums it up. Again, having been in Upper Dublin for 34 years in Montgomery County, we all knew that Springfield Township was a great police department, but now, it's confirmed. Going through this process has confirmed that. Now you can put the decals on the car, accredited police department, put the decal on the letterhead. It tells everyone else that, yeah, this is an accredited police department, only one of 160 in Pennsylvania. Now, there's probably, 1,100 police departments? You went to Penn State Abington, right? About 1,100, right, in Pennsylvania. There's only 160 that are accredited agencies, and now Springfield Township is one of those. So it's really a huge honor, and I applaud you for what you've done, Chief. So if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. Otherwise, I can make the presentation of the plaque. No questions? So this was voted on through the full PLEAC commission back in October. And this it was a unanimous vote to accredit this police department. And this plaque was made up. Basically, it's the Pennsylvania Chiefs of Police Association, the Springfield Township Police Department. It's their certificate of law enforcement accreditation. It's a great honor. You'll be proud to hang this in your police department somewhere, Chief. So that's for you. Thank you very much.
All right.
All right, thank you. Chief, congratulations. Thank you.
All right, great.
Thank you, Chief Benson. I would like to just to acknowledge this is a great accomplishment for the department. And thank you for being here. I know Chief Picco and a lot of the number of officers put a ton of time, and I know Lieutenant Mirsky was a big part of that. I do want to acknowledge we have 4 of our officers here with us this evening. Sergeant Wilbur, Corporal Calhoun, Officer Fantry, and Officer Donnelly. Thank you for being here as well.
Just got a couple comments, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
I'll try to make it brief, but first of all, thanks to Chief Benson from West Whiteland, an old Montgomery County friend, not only a respected peer, obviously an accreditation expert, but also, again, a longtime friend. I thank you for being here tonight. I grew up in Springfield Township and have been a member of this department. If you count my civilian time, it's over 40 years. Pretty old, right, Chris? So, yeah, and so to finally become an accredited agency, like as Chief Benson said, our neighboring agencies, to finally make that, it's without a doubt, it's one of the highlights of a very long career. And it really signifies that our policies meet the established standards and we follow the so-called best practices in law enforcement. The process began basically in the summer of 2021, where we were fortunate enough to apply and receive a grant from the Department of Justice, a community-oriented policing grant. And then we contracted with a local agency, Law Enforcement Accreditation Services. They consult with a number of departments, not just Montgomery County, all counties, and I think they're even branching into some other states at this point. So in about 18 months working with them, our main point of contact was a Lieutenant Peter Santino from Manheim Township, Lancaster County. We appreciate his guidance and again, the work that President Lee just said Lieutenant Mursky, who unfortunately cannot be here tonight, really had the heavy lift on a lot of the, during the 18 months, making sure that we're staying on track with our policies. And the three officers here that though, trying to read those policies and acknowledge them as quick as possible. I mean, even though it was 18 months, it was moving, 4 officers. Sorry about that, Tyler, but we're moving at a pretty quick rate. So we owe our gratitude to Lieutenant Mursky and, in addition to our regular everyday lieutenant duties. There was a bit of a cultural shift in our department initially where things that we were doing all the time, like, for example, putting a prisoner in a patrol vehicle, searching it before and then searching it afterwards, which we always did. Well, now we know we had to document that. And the documentation, I read a lot of reports, and the report writing in our department is phenomenal. It really covers everything. So I appreciate that. And what else I got here? One good point, in the interest of transparency in the township, many months ago, we have the majority of our 87 policies on the township website for people to view that. I received a few comments from the public that they're happy they can see our township policies, our police policies on the township site. Again, extremely proud of the men and women of this police department who, again, had to read, acknowledge these, and comply with the standards. It still is one of the most noble professions in law enforcement is, because if you go back to some of the events since 2020, the pandemic, civil disorder, every department around the nation is having a difficult time recruiting police officers right now. But with that being said, our officers still continue to give that exceptional service to the residents, business owners, and just people that happen to go through the township and need police services, and we're out there. Chief Benson mentioned it. I actually looked it up. 1,117 departments in Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth. So it's basically about 14, 15% are accredited. And we're thrilled to be joining that list. So thanks again. And thank the commissioners for that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you again, Chief. At this time, the board is now open to comments or questions from the public. The board draws particular attention to those items listed on the agenda this evening. Please be advised that once the committee reports begin, the board can no longer accept questions from the floor. Conclusion of the committee reports, public comments will once again be accepted. However, official action on those issues listed on the agenda will have already taken place. Therefore, if you wish to comment on an agenda item, now would be the appropriate time. And again, just a reminder, please hold any budget comments until that specific budget meeting, which will be later tonight. Hopefully not too. Okay, seeing no public comment, we will move to the committee reports. I have no report this evening, so we will go to the chairman of the Community Development Committee, Commissioner Stanich.
Thank you, Mr. President. Item number 1 concerns the land development at 1301 Mermaid Lane. On or about October 11, 2023, Robertson and Ferry LP, owners of the property located at 1301 Mermaid Lane, Winmore, filed a land development application with Springfield Township seeking preliminary and final approval for the construction of 3,600 square feet of new building area at the subject property. The 90-day land development review period imposed by the Pennsylvania Municipalities Planning Code is currently scheduled to expire on January 8th, 2024. And counsel for the applicant has submitted a letter granting an extension of time to the Board of Commissioners to take formal action on the plan. Therefore, I move that the Board of Commissioners accept a letter dated December 4, 2023 from Joseph C. Cools, Esquire, on behalf of Robertson and Ferry LP, extending the 90-day subdivision land development plan review period without limitation of time. The extension of time will provide the applicants the opportunity to revise their land development plans to be in compliance with the Springfield Township Code. That is my motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Please record a unanimous vote.
Okay, and the next two items concern the Historical Commission. I move that the Board of Commissioners reappoint Matthew Harris to a new 3-year term of service as a member of the Springfield Township Historical Commission. Mr. Harris's new term of service shall expire December 31st, 2026. That is my motion.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. Please record a unanimous vote.
And in addition, there presently exists a vacancy as an alternate member of the Historical Commission. Alternate members attend and participate in all meetings of the commission as a non-voting member and may participate as voting member in the absence or conflict of a regular member. Any resident who is interested in serving as an alternate member of the Historical Commission is encouraged to submit a letter of interest and/or resume to the attention of Michael Taylor, Township Manager, 1510 Paper Mill Road, Winmore, PA 19038, or to submit their interest via the township website, www.springfieldmonco.org. And if nobody signs up, I'm going to take it. So
Nay.
but that's it. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Standish. We'll now go to the Chairman of the Environmental Resources Committee, Commissioner Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to report on the recycling for the month. I'm pleased to report that during the month of November 2023, Springfield Township residents recycled 197.7 tons of materials with a householder participation rate of 82.6%, which I think is pretty close to a record. Okay. The net cost to the township was $23,570.51. Additionally, I just want to remind everybody that the Christmas tree collection, which the township does annually to recycle Christmas trees after the holiday, will begin on January the 2nd and will run through January the 19th. Residents are asked to remove all decorations and tree stands and place their trees at the curbside along with other refuse and recycling materials on their normal collection day. Please do not wrap trees in plastic, as the trees will be chipped into useful mulch and made available to residents at the township's distribution site on West Wissahickon Avenue this spring. That concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Commissioner Wilson. Does that include Festivus poles?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the Chairman of the Public Works and Facilities Committee, Commissioner Maxwell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have one item this evening. The Black Horse Inn, I move that the Board of Commissioners authorize the execution of a lease extension and amendment with Sandra B. Worthington PC Trading as Worthington Law for the occupancy of office space at the Black Horse Inn, 1432 Bethlehem Pike, Flourtown. The term of the lease shall be December 1st, 2023 through November 30th, 2025, during which period the base rent shall be $900 per month. That is my motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Please record a unanimous vote.
Next, I move that the Board of Commissioners authorize the Township Manager to execute an extension to the existing listing agreement with Dan Hellwig Incorporated to market and secure tenants for office suites B and F at the Black Horse Inn, 1432 Bethlehem Pike, Flourtown. Pursuant to the terms of the agreement, Dan Hellwig Realtors shall serve as the township's broker and agent and shall receive compensation during the term of the agreement in an amount equal to 1 month's rental per unit, which shall be shared with any cooperating broker pursuant to the terms of the agreement. The agreement shall expire May 31st, 2024. That is my motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Please record a unanimous vote.
And before I conclude my final report, Mr. President, I'd like to make a few comments.
Of course.
I want to start by thanking my wife Laura and our 3 daughters, Elizabeth, Julie, and Samantha, for being a part of this journey with me. With your love and support through all these weeks canvassing our community, Team Maxwell is undefeated. Every accomplishment starts with the decision to try. And together as a family, we made that decision. In 2014, I made the decision to walk away from a career of volunteering. Up until that moment, my daughters, who were much smaller at the time, had only known their father to be someone who cut grass, picked up trash, plowed snow, and ran into burning buildings for fun. So many questions at the time from my little ones about daddy's uniform. That uniform I would no longer wear. Over the course of my first campaign, I would explain to them that heroes don't need uniforms to help others. At that moment, I was and still am their hero. The past 8 years have been an experience, to say the least. There have been many things that I was proud to be a part of, and there were a few that left my head hanging. I was never afraid to make a tough decision or push back on an issue. Through these tough moments, I was always reminded by a former colleague to stand by my convictions. I may not have been the most empathetic, but I never wavered from my integrity. Integrity is holding fast to our convictions regardless of consequences, and never compromising our ideals or values, even if it affects the bottom line. I made it known in this building before being sworn into the Board of Commissioners that my youngest daughter had a very unexpected reaction to her father being pulled over for making an illegal left turn. Some of you may not know that our wonderful police officers deliver our agenda books each month. The men and women of the Springfield Township Police Department took time to work with Laura and I to show Samantha that the police officers were just like her dad, only they like to block the fire hydrants. During the monthly mail delivery, they took time to talk, play, and hang out with our daughters. To say that my daughters adore each and every one of you is an absolute understatement. I can promise you that the high fives and hugs will continue at school. Every one of you are always welcome at our home. I want to thank our township staff for being the best there is. I also want to thank our former township manager, Don Berger, and former assistant manager, Brandon Ford, for their work and dedication to our community. To our current township manager, Mike Taylor, you are absolutely one of the best managers that there is. I appreciate everything that you've done for me and all the help and guidance you have provided over the course of the last 8 years. Although I'll be moving on from this board, I look forward to continuing our professional conversations in the near future. I want to thank my former colleagues, Jeff Harbison, Jim Daly, and Glenn Sean. A lot was learned in a short period of time from you three gentlemen, and once again, I want to express my gratitude to each and every one of you. Baird and John, I've enjoyed this side of the table with you both. It has been an absolute honor and privilege. And to my good friend, Bob Mayonnaise, who could not make it here tonight, I look forward to meeting up with you in the near future at our favorite Starbucks. To the rest of my friends and family who are joining us tonight, I want to thank you for being here, and I love you all. In closing, I want to leave you all with this. President John F. Kennedy once said, as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest form of appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. That concludes my final report.
Thank you, Commissioner Maxwell. We will now go to the Chairman of the Administrative, Fiscal Affairs, and Zoning Committee, Commissioner Cobb.
All right, that's like falling Freebird. All right, so for bill listing, I move that the Board of Commissioners approve the November check reconciliation in the amount of $380,913.99, and the December bill listing in the amount of $921,189.58. That's my motion.
The motion, is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Please record unanimous vote.
All right, a couple of scheduling announcements. The 2024 agency meeting schedule will remain the same as the 2023 meeting schedule of the Board of Commissioners and Township agencies. The Board of Commissioners will continue to meet each month on the second Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. and on the Monday preceding the second Wednesday at 7 p.m. Both meetings will take place in this building, the Springfield Township Administration Building. The complete list of the meeting schedule is available upon request. That meeting schedule will also be posted and advertised in the Ambler Gazette. The 2024 reorganization meeting, Section 701 of the Pennsylvania First Class Township Code requires the Board of Commissioners to reorganize through the election of officers and the designation of the financial institution of the township on the first Monday of January in each even-numbered year, unless that date falls on a holiday or a day celebrated as such. In 2024, the first Monday is January the 1st, and will be celebrated as the New Year's holiday. Therefore, the Board of Commissioners will meet to reorganize on Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024. On that date, the Board of Commissioners will meet for the purpose of reorganizing at 7 p.m. Prior to any new business of the board, all newly reelected officials will be administered the oath of office by District Justice Kate McGill at approximately 6:45. And that will conclude the reorg meeting. Regarding the zoning hearing board agenda that was to be held on December 18th, that has been canceled as there are no new applications or hearings to be received for this month. So the next regularly scheduled meeting of the zoning hearing board will be Monday, January 22nd at 7 o'clock in this township building, 1510 Paper Mill Road. Now for a motion, I move that the Board of Commissioners reappoint Megan McDonough to a new 3-year term of service as a member of the Springfield Township Zoning Hearing Board. Mrs. McDonough's new term of service shall expire on December 31st, 2026. That's my motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Please record a unanimous vote.
And finally, I move that the Board of Commissioners authorize an increase from $130 per hour to $150 per hour for legal services performed by the solicitor to the zoning hearing board. The current rate has remained the same since 2012. The new rate will be effective January 1st, 2024. And that's my motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments?
I'll just make a quick comment. Having seen our solicitor in action, she's an excellent solicitor for the township, not only representing the zoning hearing board, but as it is a sort of pseudo courtroom environment, particularly for non-commercial developers, essentially residents who are looking to do something with their homes. It can be very intimidating going in front of the zoning hearing board and have to defend why you're seeking the variance you are for the project that you have. And our solicitor, Kate Harper, has been, I've seen her just be very patient, very kind, very understanding, thoughtful in what is, again, a very intimidating environment. So I just think, again, outside of the increase in the fees, I just think it's nice to recognize the good service that she does for our township.
Great. Any other comments? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Please record a unanimous vote.
Thanks, Mr. President. That's my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Cobb. We will go to the Chairwoman of the Parks Recreational Resources Committee, Commissioner Retzaval.
Thank you, Mr. President. Bear with me. I have, I believe, 3 motions and 3 announcements, at least, maybe a few more. First, I move that the Board of Commissioners adopt resolution number 1621, a resolution adopting the 2023 Springfield Township Trails and Connectivity Plan. The plan is intended to serve as an aspirational guide to connect neighborhoods, parks, schools, and other places of interest within the township to increase connectivity and recreational opportunities for township residents. That is my motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Retzaval. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those
Just want to thank all the members of the trail team for their volunteer hours, services, and really going out and doing the outreach with the community day, doing great events here at the Township Building. Just really appreciate everyone's dedication.
Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Please record unanimous vote.
Next, I move that the Board of Commissioners authorize the purchase and installation of new playground equipment and poured-in-place safety surfacing. This is regarding Cisco Park Playground from Recreation Resource USA of Pettit Square, PA, for the Cisco Park Playground renovation project. The cost of the equipment and safety surfacing is $315,945 and will be purchased via the Pennsylvania Department of General Services CoStar's Cooperative Purchasing Program. The township has secured 3 grants totaling $339,000 that will be leveraged with $50,000 in local funds to complete the project. That is my motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Questions or comments?
My only comment is that, just so the public understands, we will be replacing the swings and other equipment at the park with new equipment, more modern equipment that's specifically designed to be able to accommodate children of all levels and needs. And it should be a welcome addition to that park. And I think that equipment's been there at least, 15 years?
Well over 20 years.
20 years, okay. So we're looking forward to the new park.
Yeah, and to piggyback off that, there's going to be ADA accessible surfacing. It will shrink the size of the park a little bit from what it appears, but we really did it to ensure that we were able to have that surfacing, and the providers worked with our township staff really well to be sure we could afford it, basically. So appreciate that.
Any questions or comments?
Did move.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay.
Regarding Cisco Park, sorry. Regar-
Part's going into yours.
Regarding Cisco Park, I'm also pleased to announce that the Springfield Township Rotary Club has pledged the sum of $32,000 for the construction of a concrete pad and picnic pavilion to be located adjacent to the new playground at Cisco Park. At the request of the Rotary Club and in accordance with a recommendation from the Springfield Township Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee, the Board of Commissioners will consider naming the new structure the Pizak Pavilion in memory of William Pizak, who faithfully served as a member of the Springfield Township Rotary Club for over 20 years until his death in 2022. In accordance with the township's naming policy, there is a 60-day public comment period before the name is to take effect. That is one announcement. My next announcement is regarding the Recreation Center Master Plan. On December 1st, 2023, Springfield Township received 11 proposals in response to a request for proposals issued by the township to conduct a needs assessment, master plan, and design services for the Springfield Township Recreation Center. The proposals ranged in price from $436,100 to $2,980,000. I think it was one, could be two. At its meeting on December 7th, 2023, the Recreation Center Advisory Committee put forth a recommendation to the Board of Commissioners to interview 4 of the firms that most closely capture the requirements of the request for proposals. At the December 11th meeting of the Board of Commissioners, the board accepted the committee's recommendations and suggested that an invitation be extended to 1 additional firm with a local presence for a total of 5 firms to be interviewed. Interviews will be conducted at the next meeting of the Recreation Center Advisory Committee on Thursday, January 4th, 2024 at 7 p.m. at the Free Library of Springfield Township. All meetings are open to the public. Prior to my final motion, I have another announcement also regarding the Recreation Center Advisory Committee. Please let there be the announcement that there presently exists a vacancy as a member of the Recreation Center Advisory Committee, and that effective January 2nd, 2024, a second vacancy will be created when current member Edward Morris is sworn in as a Township Commissioner. The purpose of the committee is to assist the Board of Commissioners with the creation of a master plan for the future use and possible renovations to the Recreation Center, and to provide technical advice and recommendations on the selection of an architect. Springfield Township residents who are interested in serving as a member of the committee are encouraged to send a letter of interest or resume to the attention of Michael Taylor, our Township Manager, 1510 Paper Mill Road, Winmore, PA 19038, or email mtaylor@springfieldmonco.org. Those are all of the announcements, and now to one final motion. regarding 1725 Walnut Avenue Master Plan. I move that the Board of Commissioners authorize the advertisement of a request for proposals to prepare a needs assessment, master plan, and design services for a public park at the site of the former Tank Car Corporation of America, 1725 Walnut Avenue, Orland. The estimated cost of the plan is $100,000, of which $25,000 is being provided by a grant from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, also known as DCNR. An additional $25,000 has been budgeted in capital reserve funds, and $50,000 has been appropriated in the Township's American Recovery Plan Act, ARPA spend plan. The RFP shall be advertised only after it has received approval from the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources and is in a form acceptable to the Township solicitor. That is my motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Questions or comments? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Record unanimous vote. We are unanimously moving on.
And that concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Commissioner Ratzabon. We'll go to the Chairman of the Cultural Resources Committee, Commissioner May.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have some business regarding the Library Advisory Committee. We have 3 expiring terms. I move that the Board of Commissioners reappoint Kathleen Clem, Jennifer Kalodner, and Kate McGranahan to new 3-year terms of service as members of the Springfield Township Library Advisory Committee. New 3-year terms of service shall expire December 31st, 2026.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Please record unanimous vote.
Then, in addition, the bylaws of the Library Advisory Committee state that one member of the Board of Directors of the School District of Springfield Township shall serve as a voting member of the committee. The School District of Springfield Township recently informed the Board of Commissioners that Ms. Carla Green has been designated as the school district's voting member. Therefore, I move that the Board of Commissioners appoint Ms. Carla Green to a new 3-year term of service as a member of the Springfield Township Library Advisory Committee. Ms. Green's term of service shall expire December 31st, 2026.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Please record a unanimous vote.
That concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner May. At this time, committee reports are complete, so we will once again open the meeting to receiving public comment. Okay, hearing none, we will close that. I do acknowledge, I was about to acknowledge you, Commissioner Glenn Shaw.
Do I need to face that way? What's with the microphone going up?
We just had a little shifting around.
Anyway, Glenn Shum, Allison Road, Orland. As all of you know, sitting here, I'm a previous commissioner. I wanted to come out tonight, thank Mike personally and Baird personally for their term on the board. When I was on the board, they were a great asset. They were good communicators, good negotiators, and I really appreciate your service. So that being said, good luck in whatever you do next. Baird, I understand you're running for president, and Mike, I'm not really sure what you're doing. But thank you again, and the whole township, thank you for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Glenn.
Thanks, Glenn.
Barry, I think you're too young to be president, I think.
And I'm gonna be 80.
You'll be like 80 years
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Glenn. And I also want to acknowledge both Commissioner Standish Barrett and Mike Maxwell for many years of service. It's easy to sit on the sidelines, and you both have worked and been selfless in the 4 years, short time that I've been on the board with you. So thank you, and especially Barrett, 20 years. I mean, holy cow.
Yeah, thanks.
And I know you did a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of the other committees, especially with planning, which is, multiple times a month and all that. So good luck to you both. I hope you enjoy a little bit of a break and not wearing a tie as much. So thank you both.
I would just say, I was thinking of making a speech of some sort, but honestly, I get a little too choked up. This is kind of been on my mind for, this is for a bit. It's separating from my family after a long time. When I started, Jim was here, and Mike was here, and I was the only guy here. Everybody else is long gone. Glenn was here. And anyway, all I can say is it's just been a great experience and just a major part of my life. And I don't know what else I can say about it, except I just appreciate each and every one of you and thank you. And God bless.
I think we'll have a chance to grant some certification for Baird next month, right? Is that true? Is that true? Well, I just.
We do want him to be around. for-
Well, no, I feel like it shouldn't feel like it's his last hurrah per se, except to say I just wanted to acknowledge his mentorship and leadership for me personally. I think I'll do the same next month, and I don't want to take away from his last words for his very last meeting. Just really appreciate your camaraderie, friendship, and of course, mentorship. 20 years is a long time to do anything. Let alone, as you suggested, leaving your family and really serving the community in that way. It's much appreciated, and I will speak further at an unknown date for an unknown plaque that may be coming.
Well, thank you. And maybe we could do this on my 40th birthday. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. But just
kidding.
appreciate it. Just appreciate it. Thank you.
I don't want to cut anyone off. If anyone has any comments, feel free. Otherwise, we'll be ready to adjourn.
Wait, adjourn into the budget and then.
We'll adjourn the main meeting, then we're going to go into the budget meeting. Budget hearing.
Mr. President, if I could mention one thing, our Public Works Director is watching from afar via Zoom, and he wanted me to know that Mr. Wilson's announcement regarding the Christmas tree collection indicated that we would start immediately following the New Year's Day holiday. We're going to start immediately following the Christmas Day holiday.
Oh,
In the event that anybody's trees are falling apart.
Anxious
They're anxious to get them out of their house, so. Put them out at the curb as soon as you're ready and we'll go.
Very good. Okay, great. At this time, I would accept a motion to adjourn our main meeting.
Make the motion.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Please record a unanimous vote. So our main meeting is adjourned. At this time, I will now accept a motion to convene a public hearing on the 2024 budget.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Please record a unanimous vote. Okay, we are now in our budget hearing. The purpose of the budget hearing. The hearing is being held in compliance with section 1701 of the Pennsylvania First Class Township Code as last amended. The sole purpose of the budget hearing is for the Board of Commissioners to receive public comment on the 2024 preliminary budget. The legal requirements associated with the budget hearing have been met by publishing a budget notice in the Ambler Gazette issues of November 19th and 26th, 2023, and making the budget available for public review in the Township Building, Free Library, and the Township website. The 2024 preliminary budget of Springfield Township is $19,646,947. The proposed real estate rate is 4.516 mils, an earned income tax rate of 1.0% with a discounted annual refuse service fee of $252.08. At this time, we will accept any testimony from the public. Okay. Hearing none, I will say that all testimony taken at the budget hearing will be considered by the Board of Commissioners. Special meeting is scheduled to close the business of 2023 and adopt the 2024 budget of Springfield Township later this evening. This time, I would accept a motion to adjourn the budget hearing.
Make that motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Please record a unanimous vote. Our budget hearing is adjourned. Only 4 more meetings, folks. Okay, this time I would accept the motion to convene our special meeting to close out the financial business of 2023 and adopt the 2024 budget.
I'll make that motion.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Please record a unanimous vote. Okay, so we are in a special meeting to, as I said, close out the financial business of 2023 and adopt the 2024 budget. At this time, we will accept public comment. Not too popular with public comment tonight. That's okay. Okay, I will go to Commissioner Standish for the first resolution, 1622.
Okay, this concerns the Flowertown Country Club lease. I move that the Board of Commissioners adopt resolution number 1622, a resolution setting forth the reconciliation of the 2023 rental income and expenses of the Flowertown Country Club and authorizing the transfer of net receipts generated from the operation of the the country club of $150,525.81 from the township's general fund to the township's capital reserve fund. On an annual basis, the township reconciles the rental income generated from the lease of the country club with any expenditures incurred during the year. From 2006 to 2023, gross rental income has exceeded $1,896,351.76 and resulted in a net transfer exceeding $1,058,520. I say this again, $1,558,525.81 that are presently held in the capital reserve fund for future capital needs. So that is my motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Please record a unanimous vote. Now we'll go to Commissioner May for resolution number 1623.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is regarding amending the 2023 budget appropriations. I move that the Board of Commissioners adopt resolution number 1623, a resolution reconciling 2023 expenditures that may be overexpended with unencumbered balances of certain expenditure items and revenues received in excess of budgetary projections. The general fund actual expenses of $16,342,132.32 were reconciled within the unencumbered balance of expenditures of $594,918.68. The budgeted expenses for 2023 were $16,937,051.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Please record a unanimous vote. Next, regarding ordinance number 977, we'll go to Commissioner Maxwell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Board of Commissioners enact the ordinance number 977, setting the 2024 real estate tax rate of 4.516 mils, and that expenses of the township for the 2024 are appropriated for revenues as set forth in a table attached to and made part of ordinance number 977. That is my motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Please record a unanimous vote. Now regarding resolution number 1624, we'll go to Commissioner Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a motion setting the refuge service fee for 2024. I move that the Board of Commissioners adopt resolution number 1624, a resolution setting the 2024 refuge service fee of $257.22 for each residential dwelling unit. That is my motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Please record a unanimous vote. You bet 1,000 tonight. These unanimous votes.
All unanimous?
That's it. That is 19 agenda items, and number 19 had 4 sub-agenda items, so really it could have been like 23 agenda items. Very good, thank you. At this time, I would entertain a motion to adjourn the special meeting.
So moved.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Please record a unanimous vote. We are adjourned. Thank you very much, folks, for being here.